The first place we often start thinking about differentiation is when we're looking at the content. Content is the actual stuff that students are learning. With an inclusive classroom, we acknowledge that all students need to have access to the general curriculum, so the actual standards and content should be pretty much the same for all students. But the methods students use to access content can vary based on their needs. Differentiating content often looks like giving students choices in how they access information. In your LMS, this might look like including multiple types of information in your assignment for students to use when they do their work. For instance, in Google Classroom, you might be creating an assignment and attaching written instructions or background, a video with background or directions for the assignment, or even an audio recording or podcast. In Classroom, you can attach multiple files to each assignment, so it's no problem to give your students various types of content to work with when they're acquiring information. Another way we can differentiate is by looking at the process. By this, we mean how students will actually understand the content. What are the sense-making activities that they do to really get it? This often means helping students see how a concept connects to the world around them or to their own lives. To differentiate process, we once again want to give students choices. In an LMS, differentiating process can look like assigning a different type of assignment for the same content to different groups of students. In Google Classroom, you can use checkboxes to assign different assignments to different students in your class. One student or group might learn best by doing a simulation. Another might do best by making their own flashcards, or maybe you have a student or a group of students who would learn well by filling out a graphic organizer as they read. We can also differentiate our instruction by looking at the product that students produce to show us what they know. In traditional classroom teaching, we often give an assignment that has only one option for the product students return to us. That means that if I assign all 30 students an essay, then I have to read 30 essays. Now that might be boring for me, but it can be way worse for students. If I can give them some choice in the ways they show me what they know, they're going to be more engaged, and I'm going to get a better idea of whether or not they understand the concept. In Google Classroom, you have a lot of options in differentiation of product. If your students can handle it, you could assign them a Google form that they respond to and propose how they're going to show you what they know about the topic. If that's a bit too much freedom, you could offer students some choices right in the assignments you put into Classroom. Just like when you assign something to students, when they turn it into you, they can attach just about any kind of file, so you can let them make their own choices. Students could produce videos, make Google drawings, or make a slide presentation to illustrate their learning. Finally, the affect or learning environment of the class is an important element of differentiation. It can definitely be challenging to read the room when we're doing remote learning. Even when using live video learning sessions, this can be tricky, but using an LMS can help. One thing a lot of teachers have found effective is setting up an assignment in Google Classroom that sends a form to students each morning for a quick social emotional check-in. You can reuse that assignment every day to get a bead on how your students are doing. You could also use a form in a similar way to get an inventory of student interests, and that can help you tailor assignment options to the individuals in your class. You can assign groups for assignments or projects in Classroom as well, using checkboxes once you know which students work well together and have set some norms for collaboration. And all these ideas and tools can follow you back to the classroom for in-person teaching.